Hi everyone, we join with Arnav Agarwal, winner of Bah Agra Memorial UP State FIDE Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship. Congratulations, Arnav.
Thank you.
Okay, so how do you feel after winning such a prestigious event?
I felt good after winning UP State Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship because I got a chance to represent UP for the upcoming Nationals Rapid and Blitz Championship.
Okay, that's great. Good to hear from you. तो आपको इस टूर्नामेंट में सबसे अच्छा गेम कौन सा रहा ओवरऑल?
मुझको मेरा गेम अजय संतोष पर्वतरेड्डी के साथ सबसे अच्छा अपना गेम लगा क्योंकि उस गेम में मैंने काफी अच्छी तरीके से मतलब मैन्यूवरिंग्स की और उसको थोड़ा सा प्रेशर में डाल दिया इसीलिए।
ठीक है, तो क्या आप इस गेम को दिखाओगे मेरे को?
यस।
So I'm sharing you my screen and discuss that in this screen. So you are playing with the black pieces, right? So game
यस।
started with D4,
यस।
D4, knight F6, C4, G6. So you went for the King's Indian defense. Knight
यस।
C3, Bishop G7, E4, D6, Bishop E2, Castle, and H2. So have you ever played this line before, H4 line?
I have played quite a few games online, but I have never played uh, from the black side in an onboard game.
Okay. So what did you play in this position?
I played h5 because in many situation it is a principled reply against h4 to prevent h5.
Okay. So he played knight F3, knight BD7, castle, A6, bishop G5, C5. So what's the main idea of C5?
My main idea was to hit in the center because there is a weakness on g4. So I thought a Benoni structure would be favorable for me because after something like a white plays f4, then will have permanent control over the g4 square. So that's why I played c5.
Okay, that's great. So after D5, rook D1.
My
So
idea
rook
was
B8.
to
So yeah.
My idea was to play b5 because it includes a tactical trick as after cb5, ab5. If he plays bishop into b5, because if knight b5, then knight e4 comes, and if he plays bishop b5, then knight e4, and then if I am deflecting the defender of the b5 bishop, so and also I am gaining a
Okay.
center majority. So I thought it is a good tactical trick. That's why I played rook b8.
Okay. So your opponent played a problematic move and prevent your idea.
Yes.
After king D7, he played queen D2, rook D1.
My idea for a rook gate was to play knight g4 so that my e7 pawn would not be hanging.
Okay. Let's. And why do you want to play knight G4?
My idea with knight g4 was to play knight e5 so as to trade some pieces as I have a space disadvantage. So if I will trade some pieces, my space disadvantage will reduce.
That's good. So your opponent is played with AD8. He played knight
Yes.
D4. He played knight D1,
Yes.
knight DF6, knight D3. So now you're planning for B5 idea, I guess, or something like a similar idea
Yes.
than you told me before.
Yes. I will play bishop d7 and then try to play b5 b4.
Okay. So you played knight H7.
Yes, I wanted to trade that g5 bishop because then my dash square bishop will be left unchallenged and it would not be harassed after that because the bishop d4 I can place and bishop e3 will not be problem again.
So you played bishop f4, you played bishop d7, following your b5 idea. If your opponent played rook f3, you go over there. So now, how do you evaluate this position?
I thought in this position I have already equalized because my disadvantage is gone and now he has much more weaknesses than me. After my space disadvantage is gone, I can simply get my h7 knight back into play with knight f8 to d7 because I want to preserve my uh, I want if he plays f3 then bishop d4 will always be a threat, so that's why I want to play knight f8 to d7 instead of knight f6 to d7.
Okay, let's go. So your opponent played an f3,
Yes. I
and
here
you
take bishop into d3 because now his dash squares are weakened, so I do not need my light square bishop, and I am trading this for his knight who was protecting the dash squares around his king. So I thought this was a good trade for me.
okay. So basically, these dark square weakness around king, you will
Yes,
get the advantage after giving up the bishop.
yes,
So bishop d4, intermediate check.
yes. Now king f1 is forced, else if king h1 then knight f2 and I win the exchange.
If king goes to like h1, right?
Yes, then knight f2 and d1 falls.
Okay. So you will get the exchange advantage. Knight
Here
e5.
I played knight e5 instead of knight f2 because I thought after knight f2 and he plays rook b1, his d3 bishop is bad because of the pawn chain which is fixed on the light squares. So I thought if I go to f2, then there is a chance he can play bishop e3, attacking my f2 knight and d4 bishop. So after that, I do not have a route for my knight. So I thought knight e5 was a better move.
So basically, you're playing a positional chess and slightly like taking control of the position by your pieces.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought this trade was okay because I will now have a 2-to-1 ratio on dash square control and his bishop is bad because I of the pawn chain mm,
So Arnav, आप बताना चाहोगे what is 2 to 1 ratio? Because I have never heard
two-
this term before. तो थोड़ा सा आप अगर हमारे viewers को
मतलब
explain करना चाहो.
मेरे यहाँ पे दो नाइट्स है वो दोनों डार्क स्क्वायर कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं पर उसका जो d3 वाला बिशप है मतलब जैसे
ठीक
ही
है.
मेरे दो नाइट्स है तो मेरा वो 2 रेशियो हो गया और उसका बस एक ही
हम्म,
ये डार्क स्क्वायर वाला बिशप है तो उसको 1 काउंट
हम्म,
कर लिया क्योंकि ये d3 वाला बिशप क्योंकि डार्क स्क्वायर नहीं कंट्रोल कर सकता है मतलब मेरे पास एक 2-to-1 रेशियो है डार्क स्क्वायर्स के कंट्रोल का.
Okay. So that's the idea. Basically, your both the pieces can control square, but we have only one piece which can control the dark square. So that is 2 to 1 ratio, right?
Yes.
So rook b1
And also
protecting the
because I
pawn.
have two knights, so it will be easy to control my king safety because I don't have a dash bishop. So my king is also a little bit weak, but I have knights, so they can defend my king easily.
Again, knight f6. Rook d1, queen b4.
My
You are
idea to trade
confident that if
means
you trade the queens, you will win the game.
yes, I was confident I would at least be better in the end game because of his b2 weakness and my strong pass pawn on d4, which he cannot attack easily. And also he has a bad bishop. So I thought this will be good trade for me because then also he cannot try to take advantage of my king position because of dash weakness.
Okay. We avoided the exchange. You reroute your knight from d7. The idea is to play
Yes,
c5.
yes. My idea was to play my knight to c5 so that it also attacks the d3 bishop so that he will be forced to trade he will be forced to trade his bishop for my knight as he cannot allow my pawn to reach d3. So I thought it will be then be a good trade for me, and he will be left with a bad minor piece.
So he moved his king to G1.
Yes, his idea was to first make his king safe so that he can have future ideas of g4 maybe, because I do not see elsewhere he can create counterplay. Because I am shifting all my pieces on queen side, so I thought maybe his idea was to play g4 and create play on the king side.
Knight C5, as you planned, we captured on E5. Then now you have a superior knight, good knight versus bad bishop.
Yes.
So bishop C4, so D6,
Yes,
D3.
my idea was to triple down on the b5 and then attack his weak b3 pawn. And also not to allow bishop b5 to c6 so that his bishop can bishop can become active. But right now he has played b3 already, so it will be a permanent weakness because I have fixed it on a light square, so his bishop will have to always guard it. So now it will be more difficult for him to activate his bishop with bishop b5 to c6.
Yeah, if you take plan, it's not gonna work. Either he has to give up the plan. Okay. So you played rook
Okay,
F6.
my idea was to prevent f4 as if I allow f4, then he will get my d4 pawn in return, and my pawns will be also doubled. And next move is e5 is coming, so I thought first to prevent f4 and then double my rooks.
Okay. Great. So you are using a prophylactic idea very well and your understanding of opponent. So he played rook D7
Even
and D8, king
I thought
H2.
maybe he could have
So
played bishop d3 with the idea of rook c4 and then kicking my queen and then followed by b4.
okay, so basically you are expecting to play this and this. Okay.
Yes.
In the game, rook B6 happened. Now there
Yes,
is no
because
more
now
threat of
f4 is
F4.
no more a threat because my d4 pawn will be uh, matlab, he does not have an attacker on my d4
Yeah,
pawn, and if he
yeah.
does f4, then after take e5, then there is some sacrifices of I can sacrifice my pawn of with d3 and then followed by queen d4, trying to
Control the dark squares
run
in the
roll
dark
the
of the
dark
opponent's.
squares.
So queen to D1.
f4, if he had played f4, I also had an idea of knight d7. Knight d7, and if he captures, then my knight will sit on a comfortable post on e5, and then I will play d3 next move. And it also covers the f7. So if he even if it places his doubles his rook on the d5 f file, then I just play king g7 and f6, and he cannot do anything about my knight on e5 because it is on a dark square.
So queen D1 happen on the board. And now knight to
My
D.
original idea was to play knight d6 followed by knight b5 so as to get my knight to c3, but that c4 bishop is not good, so I thought not to trade my knight for it because it is of no benefit for me.
So you shifted the attack.
Yes, now my idea was to play king g7 and followed by rook c8, so that has
Okay.
to take the c4 bishop because of the pin on b1 b file.
We in the game, queen A3 has been played.
Yes,
So
I first played queen a3 and then
basically,
knight into b3. If I had played rook into b3 instead of knight into b3, then here he has a trap that rook a2, queen b4, and queen c7, and after that, his all pieces will be attacking my knight and attacking my knight, and it is
basically
also have gotten misplaced
suddenly his
because
pieces become active. Yeah.
yes, these
He
pieces
gets a good
suddenly
point.
become active.
So you calculated this variation and you captured it.
Yes,
So now we double up the rook. So you played knight
knight
a1.
a1 attacking the
So
queen. So it is
attacking
a
the queen.
triple attack on b2, so he's forced to capture my rook on b6.
Yeah. Otherwise, if he takes here, you can simply take the exchange.
Yes,
So your opponent took on b3. You capture the
knight
queen. He
c2,
takes it up on
g8,
rook.
king g7. Now I also have the queen plus knight combination, which is the most powerful combination because of the knight's ability to move in an L shape, and the queen can try because it has a power of bishop and rook. So it both pieces move in uh,
In a good
a
combinative way.
combinative way. So I thought it would be good to play knight a1 to c2 so that I can get this combination.
So you get rid out of this check. Your opponent
Yes,
plays with queen b3, queen a4. Now
yes, d6.
d6, giving up the pawn and clearing the seventh rank, so
Seventh
he
one,
takes some counter attack. Now bishop e5,
queen
he played
a5.
queen a5, and he played bishop e8. So he missed
Yes,
one
he
tactical
missed.
idea here.
Yes, he missed queen d8 here, forking both the e8 bishop and h4 pawn. And after that, my knight will also come into the attack on the king with,
So he defended with
because his all
b1.
pieces are on queen side.
Yeah,
So his
so he
king is
defended with rook
very
b1,
difficult to defend.
b8, and then
Yes,
after he
king
captured,
h2.
he moved here to g, like first knight here. Now he created attack on f7. Now this move. So
Yes,
you
he
just
cannot
allowed
capture.
the rook capture f7, right?
Yes, it is not possible because after king h6, the g2 pawn is hanging because of mate. So he,
Let's
yeah,
see the variations. Rook capture
king
f7,
h6,
king 6,
rook b2,
four,
queen e1, king h2,
two,
knight f1,
f1.
king
And he
g1, maybe.
king g1 or h1 both are same. And if he goes h3, we can immediately checkmate it.
Yes,
So
king
king
g1,
g1,
knight g3,
g3,
king
king
h2,
two, yeah,
h4.
h4 checkmate idea. Now he has only moved to escape on h3 and king
Yes,
g5.
and
So
after
he
king g,
caging the king and they don't have any escaping square and to the post checkmate.
yes, now it is
They
a
cannot
forced mate.
avoid that. So you find a very good combination. It's good. So he bring his rook back. Sorry, he bring his rook back here and
Yes,
defend the pawn on c2. So you
yes.
moved your pawn to
h4,
h4, now
bishop
forcing the
d7
bishop
force or
to
else h3 is coming.
yeah. So now d3, trying to promote the pawn
d3.
and bishop h3, knight
Now
c4,
knight
taking the
c4.
rook
My
and
idea was
clearing the
to
space
play
for
d2
pawn.
next move.
Yeah, rook to f2, and then queen f4, pinning
Now
the
my
rook
idea was
after
to
queen
pin
e3.
this, and then his rook and king are frozen, so only king f1 can unfreeze. But then his king will be more weak, and d2, then queen d3, queen c2 is coming.
You play the same variation. Play rook e2, attacking your enemies. But again, you freeze the rook. So now the difficult situation for the king.
Pinning.
So he moves
Now
the
my threat
king
is
and
now queen c2 and the d1 rook is gone.
king because if he moves away, you can easily promote the pawn and he has to give up the rook. So in all the way you are getting so your opponent resigned like anyway. So well played and well explained, Arnav. It's a very good explanation from your end. So now let's move to the next part of the interview after finishing this game. So let's talk more about your chess journey. So when did you start playing chess?
I started playing chess in June 2022.
Okay.
In I started my first tournament was a local tournament Prayagraj in a college. I think it was named KD Convent School.
Okay. So apart from chess, how do you spend your day?
I I do match in my free time, or else I read some books like
Okay.
manuals.
Okay. Like what kind of manual?
Like I have chess and game manuals.
Okay. So do you like to solve chess studies also?
I don't very well. I have very I do not do chess studies very often. I just want to first improve my calculation first. So
Okay,
so I was reading uh, a book from Jacob Agard these
okay,
days.
okay. तो अभी आप किस कोच के साथ ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं?
I am training with Dr. Dinesh Kumar Pandey. He is from Varanasi and associated with Chess Pathshala owned by Swapnil Dopte, GM Swapnil Dopte.
ओके, तो कुछ बुक्स अगर आप अपने फेलो चेसमेट्स को रिकमेंड करना चाहो जो पढ़नी ही चाहिए बिगनर से लेके इंटरमीडिएट तक.
I would recommend at least Mark Dabrowski book Endgame Manual.
ओके, तो नाउ आप अगला कौन सा इवेंट प्लान कर रहे हैं?
I will play in CBSE Nationals uh,
एंड व्हेन इट विल स्टार्ट?
from it will start from 25 October.
ओके, दैट्स ग्रेट. So nice talking you with Arnav. Thanks for joining with us, and thanks for your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Welcome.